Hey there, I'm Emerita, co founder and team lead at Billet. This video is all about setting yourself up for project success on Billet by finding your perfect routine, specifically focused on time management. Time management is a major issue for many, but it's an important skill to have, especially when it comes to self learning and completing projects on Billet or courses on other platforms. I'll be sharing some practical tips on integrating bullet projects into your daily life. But first, we'll dive into common challenges around time management, like procrastination. Then I'll discuss techniques for effective scheduling. Time blocking is one of them, including understanding your time blocks. We'll also talk about the Pomodoro Technique. So by the end of this video, you'll know some techniques to manage your time better and also have a weekly schedule to make progress on your bullet projects. Given the self-paced learning nature of Bullet, effective time management is needed to stay motivated and make progress. You may have school or work commitments to deal with while balancing personal or family responsibilities, so you may find yourself dealing with procrastination. It's easy to put off self-paced learning tasks, especially when there's no external pressure. So using the 5-minute rule or productivity techniques like the Pomodoro Technique can help, which we'll talk about later. Distractions may also be an issue. Social media, friends, work emails, and that new TV show or movie that just came out can be distracting. The best way to overcome this is creating a distraction free environment or using tools that can help you stay focused. Overcommitment, we've all been there. We've all taken on too much at once, which leads to burnout and overwhelm. So it's important to set realistic goals and pace yourself to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Lack of structure may be something that you're also dealing with. Without a structured learning plan, it can be difficult to stay on track and make progress. That's why creating a schedule or using a learning management system can help you stay organized. Motivation issues may also be something that you're dealing with. Staying motivated can be challenging when you are learning independently. Finding ways to stay motivated, such as setting small, achievable goals or actively participating in our WhatsApp community, can be helpful. The good news is it's possible to overcome all these issues, and as a result, you'll have better focus, less stress, steady progress, and a portfolio that showcases consistent effort and skill. Time blocking is one of the most popular time management techniques out there. It involves dividing your day into specific time blocks, each dedicated to a particular task or activity. The structured approach helps you stay focused, reduce distractions, and increase overall productivity. So it works by identifying the tasks that you need to complete in a day or a week first, and then you estimate how long it will take you to complete that task. After that, you create blocks. These are scheduled time blocks within your calendar for each task, and then you prioritize your tasks, assign all the important tasks to the time when you are most productive during the day, and then from there, you just have to stick to the schedule and try to avoid multitasking and just focus on one task per block. Now it's time to understand your time blocks. Grab a notebook or open a Word document on your laptop and list down all your time commitments, whether those are for work, school, or personal with your family or friends. From there, categorize them into those that are non negotiable, like you cannot get out of them at all, and those that are flexible that you can typically get out of, like hobbies. And then, yeah, take the next 5 minutes to do that activity, and you will use it when you're creating your weekly schedule. If you struggle with focus, the Pomodoro technique is one you must try. This time management technique involves working in focused intervals with short breaks. This technique helps improve productivity, reduce fatigue, and prevent burnout. So, this is how it works. You would choose a task, any task that you want to work on, and then set a timer for 25 minutes. This is called the Pomodoro interval. Then, during that time, you work without distractions on your chosen task, no interruptions at all, just for those 25 minutes. Then, after the timer goes off, you take a 5-minute break. So you would repeat this 4 times. This will be called now 4 Pomodoros. and then you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. And then you can repeat that cycle over and over again until you complete your task. Now it's time to create a weekly schedule. So I'm going to walk you through how you would do this using the time blocking method. So pay attention, and you can do this at the same time as I am doing it, so it would make it easier for you to have your weekly schedule template. So when creating your weekly schedule, you can use any tool, whether it's a notebook, a physical one, Google Sheets, or even a physical calendar. So whatever you can use and that's available to you that has time blocks, you can use that. So I prefer using Google Calendar because it has notifications, of course, and I can install an app on my phone, and I can also sync it with other calendars, especially those ones for work. So everything will populate in one place. Okay. So when I time block everything typically. So I would put in when I wake up, when I go to bed, when I go and have dinner, when I have breakfast, everything goes into my calendar. So that way I can see which areas can I add time block for completing a course, completing a project, or doing something that is beneficial for my personal development and career development as well. So let's say hypothetically I wake up at 5 a.m. and then I will create a block there for my wake up time. This you can set it to repeat every week or every day rather. Make it 15 minutes or 10, and then go to the evening, sleep at 8, bedtime. Yeah. Get reminders with that, and then yeah, that's it. Okay, set that to all events. Now, I wake up at anything that you do typically when after you wake up, whether it's prayer, whether it's meditation, whether you just want to journal or just actually come back into your body after waking up. So you can add that here. Routine. That can be for the whole 5 a.m. time. Okay, so from there, say you're a morning person, right? And your morning is your most productive time. So what I would do in this case is, I didn't set this to daily. Let me just put that there. So what I would do is block out an hour within your morning to work on your project. So you can make a daily commitment, you can make a weekly commitment even, as long as you have it in your calendar, and this block will be essentially non-negotiable. Nothing at all can come in your way to complete your project at that time. So from there, I'm sure your calendar will fill up with maybe school assignments that you need to complete or work tests that you also have to complete. Especially if you do work, you'd have to be leaving for the office by 7 a.m. So that would be perhaps your time to commute. And yeah, from there until 5 o'clock, you are at work. Or if you have classes, maybe you end your classes at 3, you would have classes until that time. So include everything that you would do in your day in your calendar. And then for those who are most productive at night, you can perhaps use the 7 to 8 p.m. or whatever time block, an hour time block is sufficient. You can use that to schedule your bullet project time. Having a time block calendar is just one step for managing your time better. What you can do to take it further is make lifelong learning a habit, whether you're completing projects on Billet or taking an online course. One of the best ways to do this is habit stacking. This involves adding a new habit to an existing routine. By linking the new habit to something you already do regularly, you increase the likelihood of sticking to it. So, for example, if you have a habit of eating dinner at a set time, you can use the time right before or after dinner for project work. Or if scrolling social media is a habit, you could make a rule to work on a project first, even if it's for 10 minutes. Having someone or something hold you accountable to what you said you do can also help you maintain consistency and motivation while working on your project. You can either join tech communities or Billet's WhatsApp community, or go as far as getting an accountability buddy who can help keep you accountable for your project goals. Alternatively, you can use time tracking apps like Toggle to visualize your progress. Now, despite all these tools and strategies to manage your time, procrastination may still come around. I particularly find myself procrastinating when I have too many priorities that all seem urgent. So instead of starting with one, my brain decides to avoid all of them. But eventually, procrastination must be overcome. The 5-minute rule is a simple yet effective technique for overcoming procrastination. It works by encouraging you to start a task for 5 minutes. And the idea behind all of this is that once you get started, it's often easier to continue working on a task. So, what you do is choose a task that you're procrastinating on. Then you set a timer for 5 minutes, begin working on that project for that time. And if you feel like you want to continue beyond 5 minutes, then you can go on. If not, you can stop. This technique can be more effective than you think, especially if you perceive a task to be super difficult. I find that when I start something I thought was difficult and thus procrastinated for days, I realized that I'm capable of doing it and that it was far from difficult. So, this technique removes the pressure of having to complete the entire task at once. And it helps build momentum and makes it easier to continue working. So, try it out and see if it works for you. We've come to the end of what I hope was an insightful session for you. At this point, you might have identified some of your time management challenges and how you can integrate time blocking, the Pomodoro Technique, accountability tools and buddies, and the 5-minute rule to help you stay productive and make progress on your Billet projects. For more insights on how to better manage your time, check out the links in the video description. And if you have questions, drop them in the comment section. Thanks for watching and all the best with your Billet projects.